Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbana zidna ilma. Allahumma faqihna fid din. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba. وَأَمَلًا مُتَقَبَّلًا. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. So here we are with our session number 15, and today we are going to start our fragments. That is going to be very interesting, and I'm very excited that you all are here today to learn fragments, inshallah. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let's start with our review that we always do before anything new that we learn, inshallah. So are you sisters ready for the review? Bring my chat here. Okay. Yes. Okay. So here we are. There are a few questions that I have put together for you. So 3 reasons for a word to be jar. 3 reasons for a word to be jar. I know this is not that we just learned in our previous session, but I just want to keep bringing things from the past so we do not forget. Okay. Preposition, after, of, and there was one follower. Very well done. So if you just remember these 3 reasons, follower, remember if an word follower could be an adjective, right? So if you remember when we were doing our Suratul Fatiha, so lillahi, li was making lafzul jalala jar. In word lillahi, li was making lafzul jalala jar. And then when you go to here we are, let me just bring Tanzil in front and so that you can see that. So li was making lafzul jalala, Allah jar, and then Rabbi was also jar. And what was Rabbi? Rabbi was Rabbil Alamin, Lord of the worlds, is a follower, right? And it is actually describing what Allah is, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts the surah that Alhamdulillahi lillahi, for all praise, whatever kind of praise out there is there, it is all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's for lafzul jalala. And now the first time a reader or reciter of Quran, a revered sister or brother might think, who is Allah? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing himself here. Rabbil Alameen, he is the Lord of the worlds. Ar-Rahman, he is extremely merciful. Again, remember, these are all the followers. The first follower was Rabbil Alameen. The second follower was Ar-Rahman. The third follower was Ar-Rahim. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see Suratul Fatiha? Yes? Okay, very well done. Okay, so now we have learned pronouns, right? What are the 3 types of statuses a pronoun can have? Just 3 types of statuses any pronoun can have. Raf, nas, jar, right? So anything like any ism, pronoun can also have 3 statuses, which is raf, nasb, and jar, right? When I attach my attached pronoun, in case of attached pronouns, the ones that we saw on the table in our previous session, when they attach themselves to an ism, they're always blank in status. What is the status of an attached pronoun when it is attached to a ism? Jar. Because why is it jar in status? Why attached pronoun when attached to an ism is jar in status? Because after, of. Very well done, Aisha. So because it's a word after, of, it is going to be jar in status. So who can translate this word for me? Kitabuhu. Kitabuhu. His book. What's the book of his? Yeah. So now his is after, of. So you are going to give his a jar status, right? Everyone with me so far? Right? Because his was after, of, it's going to get jar status. Now, attached pronoun, when they attach themselves to a fi'il, are blank in status. What is the status of attached pronoun? Very well done. It's always nasb in status. Do you all remember how we did in our last session? We went through An example where Nasarahu was, who was the attached pronoun, Nasara was the word, was a fail. So Nasara, we figured out, means he helped, and he helped him. So we figured out action. The same, three-step approach we applied there. So find action. Number 2, then identify doer. And number 3, what is left is all detail. And the detail of in a sentence is always what in status? Nasb in status. Very well done. Okay. Those independent pronouns that we have learned so far are blank in status, rough in status, right? So if you see a word hua, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna standing independently, with it's not attached to an end of a word. It is not attached to an end of a word. What are you going to tell its status? Its status is going to be rough, right? So your independent pronouns that you have learned so far are rough in status. Very well done. So it seems like you have gotten the concept. So now let's go to question number 5. In case of zidni, ni, where does this ni come from? It's my. Yes, ni is my. It is when your attached pronoun is attached to a fail, it gets, the ya has a protective noon with attached to it. Okay, this noon is just an additional noon. Okay, the pronoun by itself was ya. So the attached pronoun was ya. Noon is only there to protect this ya from fail. Okay, just keep that in mind. Noon is just, ni is an attached version when your attached pronoun ana is attached to a fail, right? You all see it like zidni. It's not zidi, right? You have a noon, additional noon attached there. It protects ya mutakallim, which is the first person singular pronoun, from fail. Okay, keep that in mind. So ni is, yes, it's an attached pronoun, but the pronoun here is ya only. Okay, noon is just something additional. Okay, we will do it later, but just to, if I just give you precise description of each and every letter, your attached version is ya. Okay, the attached pronoun is ya. This noon is noonul waqaya. I don't want to confuse you with these heavy terms. However, this noon is just there to protect this ya. Okay, so every time your ana is attached it's to a fail, you will see this added noon there, which protects it from a fail. Just think of it like that. Okay, this noon is a kind of a helmet for it. Okay, ni, yes, ni is, you can remember with noon, that noon as it is attached to a fail in the form ni form, in the ni form, so it is always nasb in status because it is attached to a fail, right? It is attached to a fail. Every time your pronoun is attached to a fail in the versions that we have learned, the versions of pronouns that we have learned, your pronoun is going to be what in status? Nasb in status. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now we are going to do some true or false. Our pronouns are fully flexible. False. What are they? Non-flexible, right? All your pronouns are non-flexible. All pronouns are common. False. I agree. Yeah, it is. First of all, I have to write false here. They are non-flexible. All pronouns are, this is also false because they are all proper. What are the 7 reasons? Even if you don't type the 7th one, I will not hold you accountable for that. I will not, get you for that, but just tell me the reason for a word to be proper. Very well done. Name, al, Yes, proper names and al, 2 reasons. Then pronouns, all pronouns are proper, 3. Pointers, very well done. Ism mausool, very well done. Now, if mudaf ilayhi is proper, mudaf is proper, and this thing we are going to learn, the one being called. This guy that Alina just typed, please, everyone, keep that in mind as well, okay? So the one being called, munada, is always proper, because now we are talking about specific thing. Remember, ya ardu, ya naru. When the earth that was being addressed was not any earth. It was the earth that was flooded. That was in the times of Nuh alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked the earth to swallow its water. Remember that example that we did in the past in Quran? And then we did an example of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the fire that Ibrahim alayhi salam was put in, Ya naru kuni bardan wa salama. Remember those examples? If you do not, that's quite okay, but inshallah you will familiarize yourself with Quran in such a way, inshallah. It's my dua for all of you, that this will be, you will be, every example will be, you will develop connection with each and every example from Quran. I don't even have to give you anything, and you will be like, yeah, we learned it from this verse, this concept, and inshallah, this with a revision, inshallah, everything will be very clear, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, Sister Sabra. Yes, al, pronoun, mudaf, not harf nida, the munada, the one that is being called, and then proper nouns and ism mausool and pointers. Yes, so after harf nida, whatever noun is there, it is going to be the ism that is being called is going to be always proper. Very well done. Very well done. So now, in case of fihi, letter ha has kasra. It's not kasha, it is kasra. Sorry. Has kasra because it is jar. False. Why, Sister Ambreen? Why do we think it's the kasra is not because of it being jar? The kasra is there for ya sukoon, because it is after ya sukoon. That is why the word has kasra. It has nothing to do with the status of the word. Remember in our last session, hu, he, huma, hima, hunna, hinna, huma, hima, whom, him, they have nothing to do with the status of the word. Remember, we learned it. So keep that in mind, inshallah. And I'm going to ask you specific questions in regards to that. That's coming. Are there any haruf or prepositions? For now, we can call them prepositions that can make pronouns nasb or jar, or any ism nasb or jar per se. No. Haruf, like that can make pronoun nasb and jar. If I put fi in front of whom, fi him, so isn't fi not making it jar? Yes, right? So yes, if there are haruf that are before your pronoun or any ism. Yeah, but we were learning about pronouns last week. So we will just focus on that. So if there are any haruf, specific haruf that come before your pronouns, they are going to make, some will make them jar, some can make them nasb. And if you remember, I told you all that some of them that make a word jar, they are called harufe jar. Yes, harufe jar. Yeah, simple. And those that make word nasb or pronoun nasb, to be precise, they are called harufe nasb. Right? Easy. Right? Because that's what their job is. They are going to make the ism after them, or it does not have to be right after them. For in case of nasb, it may be it can tolerate a long distance relationship, and which we will learn in detail in future. But in case of jar, it is in most cases right next to one another, so it is going to give whatever ism comes after it a jar status. Okay, see, when we learn the 3 reasons for a word to be jar, we learn word after of, word certain a word after certain prepositions, and number third reason is your follower, right? So the word after certain preposition, those prepositions are harufe jar, because they make your word jar, right? Everyone understood this so far? Alhamdulillah. So should we go ahead and learn whatever we are supposed to learn today? So I just wanted you to give me the reasons. What are the reasons for a word to be an ism? Yes, Sister Ranas, yes. For my online people, I'm going to, write it is false, right? It is false because he kasra, ha kasra has nothing to do with nasb or jar, right? So it is just to do with ya sakoon before it. So this one is false. Okay. And let me clarify this one as well, so that there's no confusion for those who are going to follow with listening to a video. So it's all pronouns are proper. Okay. So now the last question here, I don't think we did it. 2 reasons why hadamir al-ghaib will take kasra. He, huma, hima, him, hinna. Why will this happen? 2 reasons. Can you give me those 2 reasons? We learned 2 reasons for a word to take kasra. One was, we just did it in fihi, which was preceding letter has kasra. Very well done. Number 1, preceding letter has kasra. That is going to give your ha kasra. Or the second reason is, if preceding letter is ya sakun. Ya sakin, ya sakun, or whatever way you want to call it, or the kasra on a letter before this ha. Keep that in mind. Everyone with me so far? Okay. So Rabbihim, why is Rabbi? Rabbi him is not whom. Why is him not whom? Because Rabbi has kasra. Very well done. Mariam, so proud of you, and so proud of you, each and every one of my sisters. Subhanallah. So now come back to the reason for a word to be an ism before we embark on our journey to learn fragments. So what are the reasons for a word to be an ism? Who can tell me? You look at the word and al, tanween, ta marbuta, most words starting with meme. Very well done. Yes, it's a name, idea, place. Yes, that's correct. Very well done. Remember, there was a slide. If you go through your categories of words, you were given 2 slides. Let me show you the category of words. So alamatul ism, right? So this one, everyone was supposed to know. Remember? We've discussed it in detail that everyone should know these 4 reasons, right? So everyone should know these 4 reasons. Then there was another slide that was there as well. Signs of ism. This was slide number 2. Okay. And I had it there. So it was for the students who have already learned, the basic grammar, for old students. Remember, this was once upon a time when we started our journey on 3rd August, right? It was almost more than a month ago, right? Month and a half ago. So, if your word is preceded by harf jar, your word is going to be an ism. Keep that in mind, okay? If your word is preceded by ya, if you remember, ya nuhu, every time you will see it is followed by an ism. And these are weak signs of ism. Very well done, Aisha. These were weak signs. So that's why I did not, I do not expect each and every one of you to know that. This one is relatively stronger one, harf jar, which we will be learning today. But these two, the nisba and harf nida, I just told you these are weak signs because sometimes there can be exceptions. So, but I had it there because I just wanted to make sure that you have an overview of everything, and then yeah, you can pick and choose it. There is the most important bullet points that you all need to know, and then there are things that if you do not even remember, that's okay. Okay, so now let's with this information, so if your word is preceded by harf jar, if your word is preceded by harf jar, it's going to be an ism with some exceptions, and we will learn about them. Yes, Sister Aisha, it's very important. It's amazing how you remember this Makki, Madani examples. And even if you are, you do not remember and you just saw them from slide, that is quite okay because it takes some time. Yes. So if your word is like Makki, Madani, Bukhari, right? So Imam Bukhari, the famous hadith, compiler of our time, whose book is the book that we after Quran is the most authentic book, is the Imam Bukhari, right? So book of Imam Bukhari, where he collected his Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari is the book that was compiled by Imam Bukhari. And his name, if you look at his name, he was from Bukhara. It's a name of a place. Okay, so his name is Bukhari because this is kind of a connection. You connect it with something. So if your name is, if a noun is kind of like that, with a ya at the end, the chances are, if you're looking at a word where there's a connection, the word is going to be an ism. So Pakistani is this word ism, fail harf. What is it? Ism, right? Just because of yas at the end, because it is, Pakistani means from Pakistan. Bukhari means from Bukhara. Makki means from Makkah. Madini means from Medina, right? It is nisba. It tells that there is some connection. Nisba means, you have, in Urdu, you also use this word nisba, where it means, relation or a connection. Okay. So keep that in mind. So we were not today going to do signs of ism, but I just wanted to you all to review this, because we are going to learn harf jar today. Okay, so we are starting our fragments, and we are going to do our first fragment is going to be al jarul majroor. But let's learn what fragment is exactly. Okay, so fragment is more than a word, less than a sentence. What is fragment? More than a word, less than a sentence. For example, big house, kind king, noble Quran, truthful messenger. What else? So these are, all these examples are, kind king, big house, loud noise. They are, more than a word, less than a sentence. Can you all acknowledge that, can you all appreciate that, this is not making complete sense? Or it's too French? Yes, right? So fragment is formed when two or more words come together, but do not form a complete thought. Big house, but what about big house? What about kind lady? What about just king? It does not convey complete meaning. Do you get complete meaning from those pieces of words? They are more than a word, but less than a sentence. Fragment is that, okay? When you have more than a word, less than a sentence. More than a word, less than a sentence, which does not which does not form a complete thought. Is it getting clear or no? Are you understanding this or no? Yes? Okay. So, for example, when you look at a sentence, she is a girl. She is a girl. Does it make sense? Yes, that's why I'm calling it a sentence. But if I say, good girl, does it make full sense? Does it convey complete thought? No, it does not. So it's going to be a fragment. Your sentences are made up of these fragments, right? Most of the time, you will find your sentences made up of these fragments. Keep that in mind. These fragments are going to be part of your long sentences. Okay. So the fragments that we are going to learn at the moment are going to be al-jar, wal majroor, idafa, nasab mansoob, mawsoof sifa, atf, ism ishara, wa mushar alayh. Okay. Focus on just the first one. Okay. We are going to learn about the rest of them later, because today we are only going to learn this one. Okay. Okay. So what is al-jar wal majroor? This is a fragment that is made up of two parts. There's a harf and an ism. What are the two parts of al-jar wal majroor? Harf and an ism. Okay, harf and an ism. Your fragment could be two isms as well. Keep that in mind. But this particular fragment, as the name indicate, al-jar is another name for harf jar. Al-jar is another name for harf jar. Okay. So harf jar is one fragment, and the word or an ism that it makes jar is going to be called majroor. Okay. I'm going to if try to explain these difficult terms for you, inshallah, in a minute. So the first part of the fragment is harf, and this first part is called harf jar or al jar. Okay, the first part is in harf. When you look at this fragment in Quran, when you will see this fragment in Quran, you will find the first part of the fragment is harf. Okay, this is harf that puts the ism following it in the jar status. What does it do? This guy, when it comes before an ism, what status does it give to an ism? Puts it in jar status. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. Ism that is affected by harf is called al-majroor. What is it called? Al-majroor. Because what happens to this ism now? It becomes jar, right? What will happen to an ism in a singular form when harf jar will come in front of it? How will it show its status? Takes kasra, right? So if I put harf jar before a singular word, it's going to take kasra. What will happen to a dual word when I place harf jar before it? Now it's your revision of Muslim chart. Ya noon. So this ya, it get a aini combination. So ya and ya will be preceded by a letter carrying which haraka? Fatha, right? Muslimaini, right? So ya is there, ya noon is ending is there, but ya is preceded by a letter carrying fatha. If I place harf jar before a plural word, plural masculine word, what will happen to this word? How will it show its status? Ina ending, yes, ina ending. So what will be the letter? It's going to be ya noon, yes, and a letter preceding ya is carrying kasra. It's going to be ina, right? Una is the rough ending. We are here doing jar endings, right? So Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, right? So the first singular form is denoted by kasratain or kasra. Then when you come to dual column, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini. So aini ending, where ya was a sign of jar, and not only ya preceded by letter carrying fatha. Ya preceded by letter carrying fatha. When you come to your plurals, in case of masculine Muslim chart, your jar status is going to be, how is it going to be looking like? It's going to have ina and ina ending, ina ending, in the case of ina ending, what is going to happen is the ya is there, ya nun is there, similar to your dual form, but ya now is preceded by your kasra, right? Now, when you come to your Muslimatun chart, how will your Muslimatun girl look like when harf jar come before it? If I put a harf jar before Muslimatun, it's going to become Muslimatin, right? It's going to become Muslimatin. In case of dual, what will happen to your Muslima? What will happen? Yes, we are going to only do jar because we are learning harf jar, right? Taini, very well done, Sister Breen, very well done. Muslima, Taini, because Tani is going to be a rough ending, right? It's going to be the rough form. We are concerning yourself only with jar form because today our class is about harf jar and it's majroor, right? So Taini, your ya sakoon preceded by fatha is going to tell you, by letter containing fatha is going to tell you that word is jar in status, or it is the word that is jar in status is called al-majroor. Okay, al-majroor is a word that is jar in status. An ism that is jar in status is called al-majroor. Ism that is affected by harf jar is called al-majroor. Okay, keep that in mind. So, okay, now the other things, the other facts that I want you to know is, so ism status is jar when affected by harf jar. We have already understood it. Everyone with me so far? Or there's any confusion? Alhamdulillah. Now, harf jar will always be, Mariam, your video is on. Can you, okay, yeah. Harf jar will always be followed by an ism. Will you all remember this? Harf jar will always be followed by an ism with few exceptions. Okay, there are very few exceptions and you will learn about those. So if you see your haruf jar and there's a word after it, what are you going to call that word? Ism. That is the only answer. That is what you were given in your notes of long time ago, but I did not want you to focus at that time too much on that because it was too much, right? So remember that your harf jar will always be followed by an ism with very few exceptions, and you will know what those exceptions are. That's not important right at the moment, but inshallah at the end I will give you those. So examples now. So bismi, what is making word ism jar? B. Alayhim is jar because of ala. Bil ghaibi, what is giving a ghaibi jar status? Lil muttaqina. Lil muttaqina, li is giving it jar status. Now, what will be the rough form of muttaqina? Give me the rough version of muttaqina. Muttaquna. Very well done. What about rest of the sisters? Muttaquna, right? Muttaquna. Very well done. So we have Sister Sabra typing in Arabic as well, which helps a lot, right? Bil akhirati. Why is akhirah in jar status? B is there. Okay. So everyone has gotten this concept of harf jar. Okay, and we will review it in a little bit of time, but let's learn the haruf, what you need to memorize. So these are your haruf that are there in Quran that everyone should know by heart. There is no other way around it. You all have to memorize them. Okay, if you have not done it, you are going to do it today. Okay. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow. Keep yourself mute and say it like that. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow. Min, an, fi, ila, ala, hatta. Min, an, fi, ila, ala, hatta. Yes, it is going to be spelled with B, like ba with kasra. But when you put these words together, when you write them as ba, okay, as ba, because that is how, it goes in Arabic. Yes, but when you see it in front of your ism, it will be carrying kasra. Yes, it's going to carry kasra. Okay, so bata kaf lam waw min an fi ila ala hatta. How many times have you, I will give you 1 to 2 minutes and you all see this slide and, just say it out loud. And don't worry about your families. They will be all good. They will actually enjoy if you just, make it in a tune. It's good, right? So in a simpler version, how I memorized it was batak lo, batak lo. So what was that? It was in my mind like ba is my harfjar, ta is my harfjar, kaf is my harfjar, lam is my harfjar, waw is my harfjar. Okay, batak lo, batak lo. Then two with noon sakun, min an, two with noon sakun ending, min an. Fi is with ya ending, so just don't worry about that. So it's unique, it stands alone. Ila ala hatta, ila ala hatta. They are all ending with your alif ending. They all have alif ending. So we don't pay attention to the signs. Hina, I could not understand your question, dear. The
Assalamualaikum.
haraka you're talking about? The haraka?
Yeah, the harakas for the first part, when you were saying how to memorize it, you were saying
Yeah,
it's
you
ba, but should
just
we
at this
memorize it
point,
with B?
if you can just remember that batak low is my mnemonic. Batak low, ba, ta, kaf, lam, wow. If I see them in addition to my ism, they are my haruf jar. They are one of,
Regardless of the signs.
okay. So for memory purpose, you just need to know bataklau, and then inshallah you will know that ba will be with kasra, ta, kaf are going to be with fatha, lam is with kasra, waw is with fatha. There is one reason for lam to take fatha, and we will learn it, okay, in no time.
Okay.
Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now B means with. B has several other meanings as well, but the meaning that you need to remember at this point is with. If you can remember with or in for this harf, you'll be good. Ta means I swear by. Okay, it is a word by which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran mentions oaths. Okay, so it means I swear by, and this is used just before lafzul jalala. If you want to put it in your notes, it's not on the slide. I can just add it as well if you want me to. Let me just do it. No, I have to shorten. So ta is a harf that is used, used only with name of Allah. Okay, will you all remember this? This word is unique. It's only used with name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, kaf means like. It is used to make comparison, just like we use she is tall like a tower. Okay, a very bad example, but just keep that in mind. Okay, so like she is like her sister. So like her sister, so like just like that, like Ka, fatha has that meaning, that connotation. Li means for. It is used for possession as well. So li, if I use li with a long vowel sound, like li with ya, which is ya is for what? What is ya? You just did it. We or I? It's a pronoun. It is me, it's I, right? It's I pronoun, right? So li can mean I have, or for me, right? For me, li, a longer li, if I attach ya to it, it will mean for me or I have. Okay. Wow is again another particle that is used to take an oath. Wallahi. Have you heard Arabs say this word? Wallahi. They use it very loosely. And nothing against any Arab or anything, but we don't want to stereotype, but they're used to saying it. Wallahi. Like, and it's just everything is wallahi. So we should not just take these things non-seriously, but just to give you an example. So it is an particle by which an oath is taken. Okay. And wow, when it comes as a particle of an oath, it can have, you can have lafzul jalala after it, and you can have any other object after it as well. Like Sister Sabra has typed wal layli, wal asr. Have you seen wal asri? We'll go back to our Quran practice and we will see it there. Okay. So keep that in mind. So B means with, ta is for oath, ka is for comparison, to compare two things, li is for possession, and vow is for oath. Everyone with me so far? Okay. Then comes your haruf jar that are ending with noon sakun. Min an. Min an. So min means from. Min means from, and it can have different other meanings as well. But at this point, just remember from. Will you all understand this? That it can have several other meanings as well. But for now, you just know that you need to know it. From is the meaning of min. Okay. An means about, or it can also mean away from. For now, memorize these two meanings of an. It can also have other meanings just like min. Okay. Fi means in. What does fi mean? In. Fi means in. Ila means to or towards. Ala means on, upon, against. On, upon, against. On, upon, against is ala. Hatta means until. Hatta means until. Whenever you see these haruf, what will you look for after them? Ism. Ism, that is going to be jar in status. Now, when you will, inshallah, get yourself well versed with these huruf, some of them may not have, some of them may not have whatever ism after them. But if you are, you have understood that they are always followed by an ism, this is what is needed from you. This is what is expected from you at this point. Okay. Now, let's see some examples here. So, bil ghaibi. We have already done this, so let's skip this. Tallahi. What did I tell you about this word ta? What did I tell you about this ta? Severe. It is an oath, right? It's a particle of an oath, right? And with this is always going to be followed by, lafzul jalala, right? It is always going to be followed by lafzul jalala. Keep that in mind. Kasayyibin. Do you see any harf here? Ka. Yes, kaf. Very well done. and it means like. Like. Heavy downpour, or kasayyib is like, a rain that is right on target, right on target. It does not, miss its target. That's how this heavy downpour is like. Qasayyibin, you must have learned it in Surah Al-Baqarah. So now, lillahi. Lillahi, do you see anything here? Lillahi. Li. So what is making lafzul jalala? Jar. Li. Very well done. Wal asri. Wal asri. Wow. What did we learn about this particle? You take an oath, right? It's a particle of an oath. Wow was a particle of an oath. Ka was a particle of an oath, right? Right. So I swear by time of Asr, right? Minan nasi. Minan nasi. Do you see anything here? Min. Yeah. So now remember when I was showing you this slide here, I showed you it. I showed this word with sakoon. Can you see this? Sakoon? Everyone? Yes. So now for tajweed reasons, for tajweed purposes, to join this noon with the other noon of annas, this noon gets fatha. So keep that in mind. But you have figured it out. This min was min of harufe jar. It was min, which is harfe jar, right? And min is the particle that gave annas what status? Jar status. And this annas became what? Al majrur. Al majrur. Okay. Al majrur. Your word is now in jar status, and the word that is in jar status is called al majrur. An nafsin. Do you see here anything? An. Very well done. An was there that gave nafs kasratain. What do you know about gender of nafs? What is the gender of nafs? What kind of feminine? A real feminine, herd feminine, feminine by sign. It's a herd feminine. Very well done. Fil ardi. Fil ardi. What made ard jar? Fi. In the earth, right? What kind of gender this word carry? What is the gender of al-ard? What kind of feminine? Again, your herd feminine. Very well done. It's your herd feminine. Ila shayatini. What is giving kasra to this word? Ila, right? Alal malaikati. What is making al malaika jar in status? Ala. Hatta hinin. What is giving this kasra? Hatta, right? So who wants to try and tell me the harufe jar that are just one letter? Huma, unmute yourself.
All ba, ta, kaf, lam, waw, min, an, fi, ilai, ala, hatta.
Ila, ala, hatta. Very well done. Very well done. Anyone else want to come on mic and tell me what they have learned? Even 5 is enough. You can tell me only 5 names. Ranaz, Samina, Aisha. Any one of you want to come?
I can try the first 5.
Sure. Please go ahead, dear.
Lita, ka, lila, wa.
Ba, ta, kaf, lam, waw, bataklaw. Yes. And then?
I don't remember. Ala, min.
Very good.
I don't remember the rest.
Okay, so three of them were ending with alif sounds, right? Ila, ala, hatta, right? Ila, ala, hatta. Then fi, or you already told, and two with noon sakun, min, and barakallahu feek. Very well done, dear sisters. Who else?
I can do that.
Please come. Aisha.
Okay. It's fataklu, ba, ta, kaf, lam, vav, min, an, fi, ila, ala, hatta.
Very well done. So now the job for after today's class is that you are going to all memorize their meanings and go through them and memorize them. Okay, and I am sure, inshallah, you should all be able to do that. Okay, so here I have a slide here that I want you to see. When it comes to the harf jar lam, you can see that I gave you li la. Can you all see this? You can type 1 if you can all see that it is given with 2 harakas. Why these 2 harakas? We are going to learn this now. Okay. If your harf jar is with a pronoun, it is always going to take fatha instead of li, which is the usual normal sign for lam. The normal sign for lam is kasra, li. It is spelled as li, but it will take fatha when it is with your pronouns, with the exception of ya. Okay? With the exception of ya, it will keep its haraka as kasra. Otherwise, it will always be with fatha. Your harf jar lam, by default, or its original form is that it has kasra. Okay, this is its original form, like lillahi. When you started your Surah Al-Fatiha, you did not say lallahi, right? You read it as lillahi, right? This is the original version of your harf jar lam. Okay, but when it comes with pronouns, your harf jar lam will always take fatha, like lahu, lahuma, lahum, laha, lahuma, lahunna, laka, lakuma, lakum, laki, lakuma, lakunna, lana. Okay, but in case of the attached version of ana, it's going to retain its kasra. It's going to keep its kasra with it. It's not going to change itself. So as you can see, harf jar lam takes fatha with pronouns except for ya. Okay, except for this ye version. When when first person singular pronoun attaches itself to lam, it does not make lam any undergo any change. Everyone with me so far? Aisha, Samina, you got it? Alhamdulillah, or no? Aisha has said yes, so I think Samina is also with us, so we are good, right? Okay, now the last thing, as I've told you, is there are few exceptions where you will see your harf jar is not followed by an ism. Okay, and those were a few examples from Quran that I have shared with you in your first session as well. Okay, keep that in mind. In this case, this ma, you see, fabima rahmatin, be made which word jar? Just figure this out. Be, no, look at rahmatin, rahmatin. Ma is going to be like, it's non-flexible. It's going to be ma all the time. But ma was just standing here doing nothing. This be, it affected rahmatin. So these are only few examples. There are 3 of them from what I recall, and I don't quote me on that, But these are the three there are three verses in Quran where you will see be that is followed by ma, and this ma is harf here. It is not an ism in this case. There are very different types of ma, but you don't need to exhaust yourself over them at this point. But just this is an only exception. But if I asked you what is special about harf jar, what are you going to tell me? They are always going to be followed by, what are they going? Ism, right? Always remember this. They're always going to be followed by ism. And those three examples, how many verses are there in Quran? There are several verses, several words, several fragments in Quran. You need to focus on what is, how is a word generally act like, or a fragment generally work like. Okay, the exceptions are rarities, but since we have advanced students who have done grammar before, so here and there I give you some exceptions. But for the purpose of this class, at this point, for basic grammar students, for the beginners, they should always remember among several signs of ism, if your ism is preceded by harf jar, if your word is preceded by harf jar, that is an ism as well, right? Does it make sense? Because harf jar does not have long distance relationship. It is right there with the word. Can you see? Bismi lillahi alayhim bil ghaibi lil muttaqina bil akhirati. Right? Every example, harf jar is right next to its ism. It's always right next to its ism. It's not far away, right? Everyone with me so far? So one more time, I'm reciting to you these haruf before I take you to Quran. Ba, ta, kaf, lam, waw, min, an, fi, ila, ala, hatta. Okay. So let's see now some examples from Quran. And do you see any harf jar here? B, right? B is your harf jar that made ism, the word ism, majroor, right? Ism is majroor because it was affected by B. Now, do you see any other example of jar majroor fragment in this words? Li, lillahi. So this is your fragment, for Allah. For Allah. Can you see that? Lillahi, for Allah. All praises for Allah. Okay. Everyone understood this one? Okay. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Any more fragments here? The fragment that you learned, which is al-jar wal-majroor, harf jar and its ism. No? Verse 4. Verse 5. Verse 6. Verse 7. Alayhim. So what will be the status of him here? Why is it jar? Because of ala, right? One of the three reasons for a word to be jar in status. If it is after certain preposition. Now I'm no longer going to say certain preposition. I'm only going to say if a word is after harf jar, it's going to be majroor. It's going to be jar in status. The three reasons for a word to be jar in status: number one, after off word. Number two, if it is after harf jar, it is going to be jar in status. Number three is a follower. Any other example here in the same verse? Another alayhim, right? Alayhim again. Okay. Next page. Verse 2. Do you see any example of jar majroor? Jar wal majroor. Fihi. Very well done. Fi was your harf jar and he was ism al majroor. and he is your pronoun as well. So a pronoun comes under umbrella of your ism. And you have learned today that this fragment does not have long distance relationship, with very few exceptions, which we are not going to concern ourselves at this point, except for advanced students. Rest, just you can all just forget about whatever I told you. Lil muttaqina, yes, lil muttaqina is another example of your jar majroor fragment. Now find another jar majroor fragment here. Bil ghaibi, very well done. And anything else? Yes, Sister Ambreen and Sister Mariam. Mimma. Mimma. This was actually min plus ma. Min plus ma. And because of tajweed, what do you do? If it was anyways, if it was min plus ma, you would have, because after noon sakina is mim, you would have anyways merge it, right? You are supposed to merge it. So here it is written like that. Min plus ma. Yes, Sister Sabra, jazakallah khair. So this is min plus ma. So this is your jar majroor. Do you see any example of your jar majroor fragment starting from walladhina yu'minuna? Bima. Very well done. The first was bima. Then ilayka. Very well done. Ilayka, right? Ilayka. You just learned ila, right? So how, when it is attached to a pronoun, this is how it looks like. Okay. Ilayka. Ila plus kaf. Ila plus kaf. Anything else here? Min qabli. Min qabli. Do you all see that? Yes, it is always formed by merging of two. It has hidden noon, because of the tajweed rule. We just merge it. We just do idgham. You skip noon and you just make it like a meme sound. So yeah, it's a idgham with gunna rule, inshallah. But this in originality, the word is min plus ma. Okay. Even if it was written like min plus ma, like Sister Sabara has typed, it would have been read like mimma. There is no other way of reading it. Just it is only read as mimma. Okay. Min qabli was another example. Okay. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that, I'm way above my time. So we'll end our session here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.